Good luck.
Thank you. Bueno, buenos días. Good morning. We're ready for the interview with Coach Haifa from Kuwait. I had the pleasure to do a transformational breathing session with her in Kuwait a few months ago, and it was such a lovely, amazing experience. So I really wanted to share this with all of you. I have her on the phone right now, so we can do the face, but she's going to explain a lot of key points for our self-awareness and personal development that I think they're key for especially the situation we're going through right now. So, Haifa, thank you so much. Welcome to this live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. Pleased to be here, honestly. I'm honored. Thank you.
So to start, I wanted to see and to explain to them what you do, transformational breath, and what you do in the Center Nafas called the space within, which I found such an amazing slogan.
Thank you. Well, in Nafas, actually, it's a very it's a unique thing, at least here in the region. In the space within, we are trying to hold the concept of holistic recovery or holistic approach to everything, physical, emotional, and spiritual. So we are like creating this space, a safe space for people to have this practice of connection and alignment. So one of the major things that helps us in getting back into our real selves and connecting with our authentic selves is the breath. And actually the word nafas itself in Arabic, it's the breath. Nafas is breath. So by this, you know how important is the breath in bringing you back to your authentic self and helping you to connect and align. So me and it's four of us, me and three of my friends, which we united by this vision and this passion to the breath. Started this idea of creating this space, and ever since it's been our passion, our drive to bring people into this safe space to feel what we felt, to have that touchdown with that space, with that safe spot where everything just is quiet and safe. So
I have the present process here with me. I want to show into the camera. A very amazing book. I will make you some questions asked about the book because I think it's
an amazing book.
It's an amazing book.
The Jumanji.
It's so deep though. Like every page.
A very deep book.
Every page has like a lot of meaning, and you need to reread, especially if it's not your mother tongue language. So you need to like reread the sentence and extract all the meaning. And I think it's the kind of book that once I finish, I would just read it again.
You're gonna read it again and again and again, and every time it's different. I've done it 4 times until now, and every time it's completely different. And every time I get encountered with some realization that blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
And it's endless.
Yeah, if you could see with the book right now, I have like a lot of post-its. And I'm on the first page. I'm in the first chapter, because then it says you cannot stop the process and you need to be really compromised with it. And I was like, okay, let's just do this now. And now I was really feeling it.
It's beautiful.
And
but before going into the presence process, the relation between the breath and the presence process, it's based on the power of the breath of integrating the trauma.
Exactly.
So that's why we have this connection to the presence process and the breath work, because breathing in its acid, it's a very strong tool. Let's say for you as athletes, okay, it's a very strong tool for you guys to manage the strain, also the movement, I don't know, like whatever is going on the physical level.
Mm-hmm.
And in the same time, it helps you to endure or to have this let's say even on the basic level of metabolism,
Mm-hmm.
how it helps you in the release of the energy and all of that. So the gases exchange, that's the basic concept of breath.
Yeah.
Inhaling and exhaling, taking in oxygen and taking out carbon dioxide. Once you do it efficiently, effectively, it's gonna increase your capacity to do anything, to be more energetic, to be more vital, to be more active, right? That's on the most basic level. So if you are saying that, then everybody's doing that. So what's so special about you teaching us how to breathe? We're already breathing. You would know that 20% of the people are only using, most of the people are only using 20% of their breath capacity, of their lung capacity. People are genuinely are not breathing effectively or efficiently, because most of people are using just quarter of the capacity of their breath. That's why most of the people are not getting enough energy. Even though they sleep well, they eat well, they don't feel well. So you would see so many, there are so many diseases that are anaerobic diseases increasing. And there's so many people complaining of low level of energy and not getting very deep sleep. All of these things are related to the way we are breathing. So to adjust on that level by itself, enhancing the capacity of your breath, of your breathing, or the efficiency of your breath system is going to help you to increase the level of your health.
Correct.
That's talking about the physical level. Add to this the how it's going to affect your circular system, how it's going to help your immune system, how it's going to help even your lymphatic system and the drainage of the toxins from your body.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, everything is related to the breath. But when we go deeper on the emotional level, the breath also helps a lot in releasing the trauma that is strained and suppressed in our bodies. Because, believe it or not, every emotion we go through in this life is either released by expressing it, and if not expressed properly, it's going to be suppressed somewhere in your body.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And that's when we, as breath work people, we meet with the present process, because the present process is about that, about releasing the trauma, suppressing the subconscious, and how it's integrated.
So we all have traumas, I understand, right? Because some people might be, no, I don't have anything, but even when we're little, things that might not be as a very traumatic thing might cause us a trauma.
Well, that's the weird thing, is that the minute you, from the minute of conception, people are they are prone to trauma. Because even if your mom didn't want to get pregnant, okay, on that level of awareness, where you're still an embryo in your mom's tummy, you can be traumatized on that level, and you get the feeling that you're not wanted. So you come to this life with the fear that this is not a very safe space for me to come out to, or I'm not welcomed, I'm not wanted, I'm not loved. So that's when, I'm sorry. Hello?
Hi, yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So that's when you feel that it's not safe to come to this life. And you hold this wherever you go, growing up. And you hold that feeling of rejection wherever you are. So you get to attract later on experiences to validate that belief within you, that was embedded within you when you were so young. that you're not loved, you're not wanted, you're rejected. And you keep attracting more of experiences in your life that validate that belief. Unless you integrate that. And that's when the breath comes.
That's amazing, though. It's just, there's many tools and techniques in order to work in yourself. But by the end, it's true that this is the only one that you can only breathe in the present moment. You cannot breathe in the past. You cannot breathe in the future. It's such even when you're meditating, it's a way of bringing you to the moment of the meditation is through the breathing. If you're doing yoga, then the way of releasing is through the breathing. If you're stretching, the way of releasing is through the breathing. So therefore, we must just breathe.
Exactly. And
no, I found it an amazing tool.
Patricia, is that for me especially, I was that very anxious, overthinking person since I was young. So to tell me after that very long journey of therapy, that I needed to meditate, it's just telling me to sit with my demons. Okay. Yeah. And that's the worst thing for me, is to meditate at that time, because I was like eaten alive by my thoughts and my anxiety. So until I was able to learn about the breath and practice and embrace it as a practice into my life, that one was the moment that my life changed and was able to meditate, because only by that time I was able to sit in the moment and be present.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's very, very powerful. And as simple as it is, but it is very deep and powerful. And the beauty of the breath is also in that it's really very real thing. It's very authentic. It's not something you can pretend, or like you can like play that it's there. You cannot. Mm-hmm. It's either there or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the breath is very authentic and real, and it knows exactly what you need. So it goes and works on what you need right now. Like when you go into a session and you tell me, I want to work on this and this and this, and during the session you would rise up and say, oh my God, what happened? Where did this come from? I just remember something, and this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And suddenly, whatever you came in with, you got out with something else, because the breath knows exactly what you need right now. It doesn't listen to your conscious person. It responds to your subconscious and what it is ready for.
Yeah, it's just, I'm just like doing like yes with the head, because every word is so powerful, and it's just like the power that we have with this, because it's for everyone, so everyone can do breathing techniques.
Yeah, but let me say something about what we're doing. It's called transformational breath. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is one of the many schools of the integrative breath. When I say integrative breath, that's breath that helps you to integrate the trauma in the subconscious, the emotional charge that is stored in the subconscious. So there are so many schools to do that. But the breath, the transformational breath school, that is led by Judith Kravitz. She's from the States, from Boston, and she just came out with this after healing her own cancer by doing the breath work for many months. And ever since, and this was back then in the 70s, and ever since this technique was developing until it got into the way it is now. And there are just like hundreds of people now practicing this in at least 57 countries. Wow. It's a big establishment. And the beauty of this foundation is that it's very like you have a family everywhere in the world. Wherever you go, you can open the website and you can choose to go to any of the transformational breath practitioners everywhere, and they will all hold the same values for helping people and trying to help people to connect and to find that peace.
Yeah, I think it's kind of not silly. That's not the right word, but like the fact that we're the whole world going through kind of like a transformational process, and it's related with the lungs somehow.
Yeah,
it's the way it's. I mean, it's kind of like a metaphor somehow of the world telling us you need to evolve and you need to look inside, stop living into the outside and living so fast and focusing on the wrong things, and just go back to yourself and see what's really matters for you. And I'm so happy that there is you and all these other techniques to other help all of us to look inside, because when you're in the outside, I'm more developed because I've been more time doing coaching things. But when somebody just falls into this for the first time, it's I think the first step is challenging of like accepting like, oh, I might have some kind of trauma or a non-healed experience or a non-healed ex-boyfriend or relationship or many things.
Well, the truth is that when this big shutdown or lockdown, it is actually a call from the higher, I don't know what you call it, like whatever you call it.
Universe.
It is universe to just, there's no way to distract yourself with anything outside there. It's there inside. So go and sit with yourself, face your demons and face your fears and deal with them. And honestly, I never found a bigger and beautiful chance for everyone on this planet to reflect and to sit with themselves and to see exactly what they're running from.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit there and face it, say it. I'm terrified.
Yeah, exactly.
And where is it coming from? And honestly, for me, and I've always said it, and I say it again and again, it's always in the childhood. Because whatever you see now, it's just like a virtual reality. For me, it's a virtual reality, honestly. It's just a reflection of what's been there for years. And you've tried to suppress it, or you tried to mask it, or you tried to numb it with anything. Mm-hmm. With food or with alcohol.
I was just looking for that
relationships, whatever.
Smoking.
Yeah. So you are trying to suppress this with going out, with activities, with mingling and traveling, all of this.
Compulsive shopping.
Yeah. So now it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. It's telling you, there's no more of that. You have to face it and you have to deal with it. And dig deep. Just go back to that frightened child and ask him or her, what is it? Tell me, I'm here, I'm listening.
Yeah, it's the key.
And when they say it, you have to be very patient. And you have to listen and not judge and not try to make it any better. Because it will be better once this child is able to express it all the way to the end. And then you can breathe on it. Because that's the only way to heal it, is by breathing on it. And if you cannot do it, I can later on, I can send you some links, okay, or a video you can post for the lovely people who are listening now. Yeah. And they can do this breath work or this breath exercise whenever they felt overwhelmed, but on the condition on linking this to their childhood fears. That's when it works deeply.
How will you connect with your childhood fears though?
By acknowledging that this fear has a root. It's not the fear of the disease now. Okay, let's say now you're freaking out about money, okay? Like now the economy is going down, and people losing their jobs, and people are like they're spending already their savings or whatever. Okay, and then now there's the fear of scarcity of things getting less. Well, okay, you sit down with this and you say, okay, this fear, what does it remind you of? When did you feel the fear of poverty or going without money? When was the first time you felt that? And you will immediately remember an incident in which your mother looked troubled and scared and worried about money going less.
Mm-hmm.
Or your father having the weight of the world on his shoulder, and you are sitting there helpless, wishing that if you can do something to help. So the fear of that child, the feeling of helplessness, that's the fear you are feeling. It's not about now. This is just a reflection. Then you go into that and you allow that child to express the fear by writing, by imagining that she's saying it or doing it, and then you breathe on that situation. And I promise you, something shifts every time when you do that.
Oh, I experience myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. And it needs a lot of constancy and you need to be continuous with it and really compromise with that in order to have real results. So it's the same as anything you start in your life. If you want to start eating better, if you want to start going to the gym, anything, it needs effort and willness. And so it's also a good compromise that we can all like start somehow in order to improve our whole life by the end. Because when we improve our relationship with ourselves, we improve our relationship with the others, and our whole universe change. I like a lot of a sentence that says something like, you cannot change the situation, but you can change the idea of how you see it.
Yeah.
And only changing how you see it changes the situation.
Yeah. The presence process actually tells you that the way you deal with everything that's going on is either a reaction or a response.
Exactly.
And when you are caught in the drama of the situation right now, that's when I say, like, when you worry about the money now, that's when you react. But when you connect this to your fears as a child, and when this happened when you were young, that's when you respond. Because when you go and dig deep and comfort that child, that's the response that child needed. And then you will see that something shifts afterwards that makes this better. Always, honest to God, Patricia, every time I try this, I do this by not getting caught in the moment of the situation and trying to link it to my childhood. Something happens right now in my reality right now. Like magic, I don't know, like something shifts every time. The situation suddenly becomes at more ease and something comes up to make it better.
Yeah.
As if what is going on in our life now is a calling on our childhood trauma, just to bring our attention to go back. And once we listen and we go back, this child doesn't need to call on us again.
So is it a way that we can release all that trauma, or is always something to release?
Well, there's always something to release, and it doesn't have to be a very traumatic thing. It doesn't have to be a very traumatic incident. It's just the belief itself. When you, for example, at a certain age, you heard someone saying your sister is more beautiful than you when you were just like 4 or 5 years old, okay? Or for example, when that new baby came and you lost your status in your family,
mm-hmm.
okay, as the precious child. Yeah, you will be always having this threat when someone new comes into the life of others, of your loved ones, that they're going to forget about you or you're going to be downgraded. Unless you go back there and you integrate that and you heal that feeling in that child. Because you will be holding this wherever you go.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, is that we should not underestimate these childhood experiences. As delicate as they are, as simple they are, they're very, very crucial. Very, they define us in a big way.
Yeah, we take them everywhere.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, I can experience myself many of the things that I might not run away, but maybe willing to experience something different in another country instead of in my home country. And you develop the same situations with different people in a new country because you have to heal that and work on yourself.
Yeah, like you cannot run away from it. Wherever you go.
Yeah. You take it with you because it's you. It's all with you. Yeah.
It is in your subconscious.
Yeah. In coaching, we say a lot like being selfish is a positive thing, because when you think of yourself and you work on yourself, you're actually helping the others. So it's something like the positive selfishness as well. Like it's sometimes being selfish, it's a good thing in order to respect the others because you're respecting yourself. So
but even in this, look, the way we are using the word selfish, it's like a stigma. It's not like a good thing. I mean, why do we have to use the word selfish? We can still call it self-love.
Yeah.
Or prioritizing yourself. Yeah, because in every aspect of our lives, we are no good for anyone unless we are good to ourselves. When you are in an airplane and the mask drop down, they tell you to put the mask on your face before you put it on your child. Yeah. You're no good to your child if you're not good for yourself. And this brings me to those mothers who always, which is I'm one of them, that sacrificing mother, okay? The mother that plays the hero every time in the lives of her children, in a way to compensate about her own life. For example, the mother she didn't have, or the guilt she has towards her children if she's like divorced or whatever. What you do, you don't realize that once you are no good to yourself, you are no good to your children. Before this awareness journey, I was trying so hard to compensate my kids about my divorce. So hard that I was overloading myself with responsibilities and trying to do the possible for my kids. But after a while, I felt the resentment to my kids because of this heavy weight and because of all what I'm trying to do. And at the same time, this stress is taking its toll on me, that I would take it on them.
Yeah.
And after this big realization that I have to be kind to myself, I have to be worried about my health and prioritize myself, something shifted about my relationship with my kids. I'm doing even less than half of what I used to do, and I'm getting much more appreciation than I ever did. And that's the secret. Whenever you're kind to yourself, the universe becomes kind to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the other way around. So good luck for those who say the harder you work, the more you put into the relationship and taking care of others, that's when you get the appreciation. No, it's about how much you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And how you prioritize your the way you feel, and the way this relationship makes you feel.
Exactly. I always have the belief, like when when we do things for the others, by the end we're doing it for ourselves because it brings us happiness. So sometimes I feel like when somebody gives a lot and a lot is just trying to compensate something in them.
Yeah.
And I don't receive it in a way so
Yeah.
positive.
You can feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it's coming from carencia. In English will be like a lack of something.
Yeah.
So when you receive something coming from lack, it's not the same feeling when you receive something coming from love and abundance.
Exactly, and at the same time, you feel the weight that it's giving, it's taking its weight on the relationship. You can feel it that I'm doing this because I'm waiting for you to do me the same, and it's not healthy.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about the emotional imprinting and the emotional charge.
Yeah. So these are the some of the terms used in the book and the presence process. But before we start, we might just say something about the presence process, because this book by itself is going to take more than an hour to explain. Yeah, I mean, I've been tackling it for 13 years now. I'm not done with it. Like every time, I've done the process 4 times so far, but every time it's completely different, and every time it takes me to another level, and it deals, because it mainly works on your subconscious. The book itself is a reprogramming for your subconscious. The book is written by Michael Brown. He's a South African. He was healing from a very serious condition of nervous system disease, and he was back then trying everything to make it better. And one of the things that he tried was some shamanic ritual he did, and in which he drank some kind of a herbal tea and something like the ayahuasca ritual, something like that. But in a moment of clarity, he reached that point of where he felt that serenity and connection and presence, complete presence. And he fell in love with that, because that was the first time he felt connected and present, and there was no pain anymore. And then he started making the search for getting there without doing all these rituals. And that's what drove him to the breath work. And when he got into that, he started doing this process of 10 weeks, in which he would do the breath work twice a day, 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes in the evening, breathing connected breath. And in each chapter, you will read the text and repeat the mantra. But the book itself talks about the effect. What are we working on is the emotions that are imprinted in our subconscious, and releasing these emotions would help us, like clearing all the obstacles in our life, the blockages, every trauma that caused us to believe less about ourselves and our potential. So during the first half of the book, you're going to be reading endlessly about how this, whatever we go through in the first 7 years of our lives, is shaping us, shaping our beliefs, and how it's imprinted in our subconscious, and later on it creates a pattern in our life, and how can we release this pattern. And during which also he talks about the 7-year cycles, because there's so many levels of awareness. There's the physical, there's the vibrational awareness during pregnancy, and there's the emotional awareness from 0 to 7, and then there is the physical awareness from, the mental awareness from 7 to 14, then the physical awareness from 14 to 21, and then by 21 you are transfixed. That's the way when you are just shaped, or that's it, and you meet the world with the way you are shaped, and you interact with everything going on just the way you are shaped. So yeah, it's a very deep book, a very life-changing experience. And the reason it's called the presence process, because it is a process. it's a 10 weeks process in which you encounter all the emotions that you thought that you're done with, or you, for example, you passed that, but guess what? You're not. So you go back into that and you dwell into it, and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah. But I love it. I love it. I said, I never get enough of it. And whenever I feel like I need to connect, I go read it, even if I'm not doing the process itself. Because there's always some message that comes up and lets you just connect. And when we say there's an emotional imprint, okay, to make this easier, I'm going to do an example, okay?
Okay.
Let's say your mother were pregnant, and suddenly she had this big fight between her and your father.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly she started threatening of leaving the house. And you, as an infant in that situation, let's say you're 4 months in your mother's tummy, you would be having this level of awareness that's called vibrational awareness, in which you will get the vibrations from your mother's body, your mother's blood pressure, her blood sugar, and her heartbeats. The vibrational awareness that it is not safe to be here, mm-hmm. because this place is not safe. So you will be holding these emotions in the subconscious. And when you come to the light, you come out, and still on this very early age, let's say on 4 years old, this big fight happens also again. And your mother and father, they literally decide to split. And your mom says, I'm leaving. And she leaves. And she leaves you with your father, for example. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then there it goes. You have your first trauma as a child by being abandoned by your mother. But there was a previous experience of that when you were still an infant. Later on, and let's say in middle school, you will get to know this very beautiful friend of yours, and you become like soulmates. And she comes in mornings, and she holds her sandwich, and she split it, and you guys like become like one soul for a year and a half or 2 years. And suddenly, her family just decides to transfer her to another school. There goes your second heartbreak and your biggest heartbreak in this age, and the experience of abandonment again. You go to college and you get to know this beautiful, handsome guy, and you fall in love, and for a year and a half or more, you date, and then he promised you to get engaged, and then guess what? He can't. And there goes your experience of abandonment again.
You're repeating, yeah.
And then you get married by the age of 20-something, and you build this beautiful life with this guy, and then when you're in your 30s, he decides, he's not, he has someone else in his life, and he's ready to move on. And you have your divorce. And there goes your ultimate experience of abandonment. And there's that pattern. So where do you think this is coming from? This comes from that when you were so little, okay? Let's talk about the one before, like let's talk about the one before coming to life. During pregnancy, you were threatened by a man by leaving.
Yeah, the conception. That's also work. And
yeah, people underestimate the effect of the pregnancy, the feelings and the emotions or incidents that happens during pregnancy are very defining. So whatever goes on in that very early age shapes you for life. So I'm sorry to say this, but most of the girls, I don't know, but maybe for the Middle Eastern culture, because of the desire of the parents of having boys instead of girls, we have this symptom of like it's most of the girls I see or I coach it, is that feeling of female rejection, being rejected because being a woman. So that's when you see the Middle Eastern women nowadays are mostly like masculine. They're trying to be more efficient, more strong, trying to prove themselves always. It's not being men-like. No, they
it's
are
the yin or the yang. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're vibrating
just
more
energy,
masculine.
The energy, yeah.
They look feminine, but they're more driven to do instead of being.
Yeah. That's the thing. And you can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. I can feel it all the time. And this is because of that rejection. So we are all defined by very early childhood moments, all of us. And the beauty of the breath is that it is one of the strongest tools that goes into that depth, into that dimension, and heal it, and heal that trauma, and untackle that whatever that is troubling us, and it's holding us back.
It's such a present thought that we have a tool that can help us to heal something from the past when we have no other way to access somehow. I mean, yes, there is like hypnosis and astral registers, and there's things, but this is, you can do it with yourself without needing anyone in your own process, because who is going to understand you better than yourself?
Yeah, Patricia, that's maybe the first strong reason why I went through this all the way, because before this, I told you I was in a very dark place doing my therapy. It took me 8 years to get into this because I went into very deep depression after very life-defining moments. And after that, what drove me to go through the breath and all the way, because it was the only thing that empowered me. It told me that I have this within me, so I can do it to myself. I don't need someone to go to a guru or a teacher or a healer. I can do it always when I learn how to do it. And that's the beauty of it. It's very empowering. And when it's just that very simple tool and you still have it within you. You own it. It's a built-in. And nobody has the credit for doing it to you.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of the breath. Only when you know how to use it and how to activate it, when you feel the power of it.
I can't stop smiling.
Me either.
And I'm so happy to be able to share something like this. And, when I find such an amazing tools or messages, I just would like everyone to at least have the chance to have the information, and whenever it falls in place into their life, to being able to apply it. So it's
beautiful. And to know that we weren't created on this earth just to like random. No, we are creatures with so much potential and purpose. It just we didn't figure out how it works yet. Like some of us did, but the majority didn't. And when you know that by doing this, you're helping so many people to figure out their purpose in life, and that they weren't created to suffer. We weren't meant for suffering. Suffering came from all this programming, from all the situations we were put in very early in life, and it defined us, defined our experiences. But the beautiful thing is that all this can be integrated, all this can be healed, and you can find a light.
I love it. I'm taking few notes. I will post it in YouTube and I will send it to you to review the notes. So, let me say in Spanish. Lo publicaré en español también en YouTube, algunas notas, y compartiré los vídeos también. I will post it in YouTube with few notes and the videos that Coach Haifa will share with me, so we can all start the process. And for the people living in Kuwait, we're going to give directions later. Where is her center and where can we find her and her colleagues in order for whoever is interested in starting the process.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for sharing this and allowing me to be part of this. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for real for your time and your knowledge, because for the people, I mean, all the ones that put their life into healing others through what they have learned, to me, it's like the ultimate goal. At least that's what I like to do.
Thank you. Appreciate it, honestly. And thank you for doing this. And I love that although we come from different backgrounds, and yet we meet on the point of that we are, as beings, we cannot function unless we are whole.
Yeah.
And that comes when we acknowledge every other aspects of our lives, the physical, the emotional, and the mental awareness, and the spiritual awareness that really makes us feel whole and connected and present, because otherwise we cannot function well. True. And we cannot, there's always a piece of us that's thirsty to be acknowledged and to be known. So thank you for doing this, honestly.
We got some Arabic comments that I can't read, but somebody saying,
I'll look at them later.
This was a super enlightening interview. Can you show us the breath, please, and the breathing? We will send you the links. If you post in a post, and I will link all this social media.
Yeah, sorry. I'm going to send you a video of something we call a 100 breath. Okay, that's like the mini exercise we do for 3 to 5 minutes a day. That's the minimum we can do during the day, because it helps you so much to open your breath and to relax and to connect and to feel grounded. It's mainly a breath practice in which you would use the full capacity of your lungs and breathing in and releasing the exhale very softly and gently. So doing this with the instructor, that's one of our colleagues. Her name is Nicole. She's an amazing person from the States. She's one of the breath facilitators. She's going to show you how to breathe. That's doing the 100 breath just by breathing in, breathing out. We breathe through the mouth during the transformational breath session, because that's the least resistant, not for any other reasons. Just to reduce the resistance during the breath, because breathing through the nose, and I know the process says to breathe through the nose, but there's another version in which you can breathe through the mouth. That's fine. So either in and out through the mouth or in and out through the nose. It's not through the nose and through the mouth. You got it?
Yeah. It's not in and out, so it's a cycle.
Yeah, it's in and out through the mouth or the nose.
Yeah.
So you're going to be instructed during the session on how to breathe, and mainly you have to bring the breath to your belly. That's trying to bring the breath to your belly, meaning that you're using the full capacity of your lungs, in which your diaphragm is going to push your organs down, and you feel your belly going up. So that's the indication that you're using your full capacity of your lungs. The breath doing this exercise every day is definitely going to enhance the way you breathe and the depth of your breath, and how you're going to use how you're going to enhance the capacity of your breath by doing this every day, 3 to 5 minutes max. And it's gonna make a difference, I promise. And the way you focus, and the way you feel energized, and even in sleeping, and you can really see how it affects your sleeping depth.
Amazing. I have people saying, "Let's do this! I can't wait."
Yeah, we will.
And where can we find you? And for the ones in Kuwait, of course.
Yeah. Right now, the beautiful thing is that me and a couple of my friends, we were able to do the online course of facilitating online sessions. Okay. And that's a new thing, by the way, because of this need now, because so many people were asking about it, and the foundation was very thoughtful to create a training program for that. And right now, there's a couple of us here in Kuwait doing the online sessions. So we do online breathing sessions, and during the regular days, and hopefully soon, we are always available at Nafas Center. And you can, if you've already tagged us on your Instagram.
Yeah, and I will put them.
Whenever they call the center, they can text the WhatsApp number. They can always book a session, and the place is highly equipped for breathing sessions, for workshops, for group workshops also. So we occasionally we do the breathing workshops, and that's like once a month or twice a month. We would do a group class every week.
Oh,
twice a week. Yeah, in which you can just drop in and join. And there are the private sessions in which you get the one-to-one session with the coaching. And that
was beautiful, amazing, and you're full of wisdom.
Beautiful soul. I was not meeting, honestly.
Yeah, you gave me a tool that's gonna work for me for the rest of my life. So I'm forever thankful.
Appreciate it, and I appreciate how beautiful you are trying. How you're sharing this with everyone you love, and it says so much about you. And the same here, honestly. Even us in Nafas, and even all of us in the breath work, we believe on sharing the bliss of knowledge and light, whatever it is. So for quite a while, we even not a long time ago, like I even reached out for people who needed any consultation, any coaching, any help. We're there for them. So even people who don't want to ask about it, if they have any inquiries, we're ready to receive your calls or messages. Just feel free to text us and to call us anytime.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well,
good luck with everything.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye, Haifa. Bye. Well, this was it. I'm emotional. I will share you all the info about it. I will post it also in YouTube channel. And here you have an amazing tool to work on yourself, to improve in every single way and to achieve your inner power. So I will be sharing more tools soon. Thank you for everyone for joining, and see you in the next one. Bye.